Here's a wee extract from my new book, which is called Matchmaking at Port Willow, and it's out this week. And you'll find here my couple from this book. They're called Ruth and Mark. They've been married for a very long time, and they're on a kind of second honeymoon in the Highlands. Things haven't been going well, and this is them coming to know each other a wee bit better whilst they're on a shopping trip, buying a kilt for a Burns night celebration at a castle. And I think Ruth is pleased to see her husband dressing up. So I'll read it to you, okay? The shop owner was a tall, elegant man in his 40s with a hipster beard and a twisty moustache. "We're going to a Burns night ball and we've nothing to wear," Ruth told him. The man delightedly brought his hands together and steepled his fingers in front of his nose. Mark had been dragged to the gentleman's outfitting suite at the back of the shop, where he'd stood in socks and boxers, being measured with clipped efficiency before being treated to a bewildering introduction to Highland outfit styles for men. Through the curtain, Ruth had insisted he try each one on, and she and Nina had taken a seat, found the bowl of complimentary sour plumes, and settled themselves in for a catwalk show. When he emerged, Nina looked away, and Ruth openly snorted at the sight of Mark, wanting to shrink from view in the traditional Highlander outfit, a slashed to the breastbone lace-up shirt and long warrior-style kilt hanging low at the back with something that reminded Ruth of her parents' tartan travelling rug draped over his shoulders. The whole ensemble was belted around his waist with thick brown leather. "This isn't it," Mark told the tailor, and they'd retreated behind the curtains again. The traditional evening kilt, black tie, starchy shirt and waistcoat hadn't felt right either. "It's too formal, too like a wedding. I don't feel right wearing it somehow," Mark said, surprising everyone. Nina watched him, wondering if, despite appearances, maybe he did take an interest in clothes after all. That certainly wasn't the impression his uniform of chinos, thinly checked shirts, ties and golfing pullovers gave. Back behind the curtain, he'd slunk. The entirely moss green gamekeeper's argyle kilt, tweed jacket and thick hunting socks hadn't gone down well with his audience either, and he'd looked pleadingly at Ruth and asked if he couldn't just wear a suit. The tailor had other ideas though. "Sir, was there ever a time you felt most attractive in your clothes, a time you had a special outfit you loved?" The couple's eyes had instantly met, and after a moment's thought, Mark nodded in resignation. "Go on then, tell the man." Ruth grinned her way through the whole story, eyes shining, as she described the night she'd met her husband on the dance floor at Alley Cat's, when he'd sidled over to her during Adamant's Puss in Boots. Well, he was in leather trousers, a sort of white blouse and black bolero-type jacket. Do you remember that? It had those military buttons down the front and a little bit of eyeliner. Nina's jaw dropped, scanning Mark in his tweedy get-up and white knees. "You can't imagine it, can you? I was a lot fitter then." Mark's shoulders bobbed with the laughter now. She didn't even mention my long hair and how I had highlights. Unconsciously, he raised a hand to the thinning spot above his temple. Now everyone was smiling, and Nina found herself up on her crutch and leading the tailor to one side, talking through ideas with him in hushed tones, their backs turned on Mark and Ruth, the Firths. "Okay, this is definitely the one," Nina said, peeking in through the curtains. "You ready to see this?" she asked. Before Ruth could answer, her husband stepped out into the watery, late morning light spilling through the shop windows. "This is the Bonnie Prince Charlie style, favoured in the 1980s and making a strong comeback now," the tailor announced. This time nobody was laughing, and it was Ruth up on her feet and walking around her husband, her eyes wide, taking him in. Midway between a bridegroom and a hussar, his darkest navy velvet jacket fits snugly around his shoulders and waist, tapering neatly in folds and cuts at the small of his back and studded all the way down the lapels with silver diamond-shaped buttons. A royal blue and navy kilt in a thick harris fell to just the right point mid-knee where the fabric met, with long white socks pulled up over his shins and revealing a flash of the silver dagger tucked inside. Its glinting drew the eye down to his shining black shoes and black leather laces criss-crossed around his ankles and up his calves. Do you like it? Mark asked Ruth. Only her opinion mattered now. She brought a hand up to the cluster of white lace falling in a cascade from his throat. He held up his wrists for her to inspect, showing her the same white lace at his cuffs. Very dandy highwayman, she told him quietly, and they'd both smiled, a little abashed, but with the familiarity of 37 years since that fateful night at Alley Cat's between them. Shall I wrap them up? The tailor asked, and Nina had to answer for them. The Firths were so absorbed in looking at Mark's reflection in the mirror, saying unheard things and chuckling. They'll take it, Nina assured him.